The Bold and the Beautiful, Luna's Trial, Elektra's Fall, and the War for Will ****. The glitz of Los Angeles faded into a brutal haze of scandal and betrayal when the confrontation between Luna Nozawa and Elektra Martinez escalated into violence and death. Elektra, ambitious, temperamental, and freshly inserted into the Forrester social sphere, had been poised to become a central figure in the next generation of power players. But everything imploded the night she clashed with Luna over Will Spencer. That night began with flashing lights, champagne glasses, and the illusion of peace. A Forrester gala. Old money, new power, and too many buried secrets in one room. Luna arrived radiant, uninvited by some accounts, calculatedly present by others. Elektra had been the one holding Will's attention for months, flaunting their connection like a trophy. But Luna, strategic and disarmingly composed, made her move when the cameras turned away. One whispered joke. One touch of the arm. One perfectly timed glass of wine. And Will followed her out of the ballroom. No one knows exactly what happened next in the Spencer suite. Only that the next morning, Luna was still in Will's bed and Elektra was gone. Permanently. The official report listed Elektra's death as homicide. Cause, blunt force trauma. Scene, hallway, just outside Will's penthouse. Luna was found on site, dazed, bleeding, and silent. Will, panicked, called 911. The media spun it instantly. Spencer Ayres' lover dead in jealous brawl. But Luna's story came later. Carefully delivered. She claimed self-defense. Said Elektra had attacked her in a blind rage, screaming about betrayal, clawing at her. She said she didn't go to that suite looking for trouble, only to talk to Will about unresolved feelings. She said Elektra snapped first. And she said everything unraveled in seconds. The DA wasn't convinced. An indictment was filed. Luna was charged with manslaughter pending trial. And just when the scandal couldn't go deeper, Luna dropped another bombshell. She was pregnant. With Will's child. Everything fractured. Bill and Katie Spencer were livid. Their son, young, idealistic, and still naive, had aligned himself completely with Luna. He refused to speak to his parents. He insisted Luna was innocent. He claimed the night with her was consensual, meaningful, and that her pregnancy was not a manipulation. But Bill knew better. And Katie saw it in his eyes. Will was being played. They blamed Luna for everything. Not just Elektra's death, but Will's transformation. The boy who once followed his father's rules now rebelled against him. The Golden Son now publicly defended a woman under criminal investigation. In press conferences. On social media. Even in court. Bill hired investigators. Katie rallied legal firepower. But Will, like his father, had inherited the Spencer stubbornness. And he wouldn't budge. Meanwhile, R.J. Forrester was spiraling. News of Luna's pregnancy hit him like a bullet. The woman he once loved, the woman he defended, believed in, built a future around, had not only betrayed him, but with Will of all people. The betrayal stung. But what tore R.J. apart was the fact that he still cared. He couldn't look away. He couldn't stop asking questions. And when he heard Luna was claiming self-defense, he didn't just doubt her, he needed to know the truth. Luna remained calm. Almost too calm. Her legal team pushed for a plea deal, but she refused. She said she would only speak the full truth in court. Elektra came for me, she said. I didn't want it to end this way. But I wasn't going to let her kill me. The trial began under blinding scrutiny. Every seat in the courtroom was filled. Reporters battled for sound bites. Cameras hovered outside the courthouse steps. The families were forced into a tight space, glaring across the aisle, Forrester on one side, Spencer on the other. And in the middle sat Luna, poised and visibly pregnant, hands folded over her belly. The prosecution wasted no time painting Luna as manipulative, emotionally volatile, and power-hungry. They claimed she used her charm to seduce Will, then disposed of her rival. Their key evidence, a distorted audio recording from a hallway security camera. The sound was warped, muffled, incomplete. But the shouting was real. The prosecutors highlighted one voice, Electra's, shrieking something indecipherable. Then a loud crash. Then silence. Their expert argued the crash was consistent with a body hitting the wall, no defensive tones from Luna, no cries for help. Just chaos, followed by death. Luna's attorneys countered with their own interpretation. They isolated parts of the audio, enhancing it where possible. They claimed the first scream was Luna's, that Electra's words were unhinged, that she had accused Luna of stealing him and ruining her life. They presented bruises on Luna's arms and medical reports from the hospital documenting scratches and contusions. Will took the stand. He testified calmly but emotionally. I invited Luna up that night. Electra followed. She was furious. I tried to calm her down, but she snapped. Luna didn't want to fight. She tried to leave. Electra blocked the door. Katie wept. Bill stared straight ahead. Cross-examination was brutal. The DA suggested Will was emotionally compromised, blinded by lust or love. They accused him of enabling Luna, protecting her. Will didn't flinch. I saw what happened. She defended herself. Then came RJ. Called by the prosecution, he was a reluctant witness. He admitted his past with Luna. The engagement. The trust. The betrayal. But when asked if he believed she was capable of murder, he paused. I believe she was scared that night, he finally said. And I believe Electra had demons we didn't understand. But I don't know what happened in that hallway. It wasn't a defense. It wasn't a condemnation. It was truth. And it cut deeper than anything. Luna's attorney called her to the stand last. She spoke with clarity. She detailed the months of hostility from Electra. The threats. The messages. The build-up. That night, I told Will the truth that we made a mistake. I didn't expect Electra to be there. She cornered me. She slapped me. She pushed me. I pushed back. She didn't cry. She didn't break. She said what needed to be said. I didn't want this. But I didn't want to die either. The final moment came with a closing plea. Her attorney asked for leniency based on self-defense and the unborn child's future. The prosecution asked for a full conviction, stating that being pregnant doesn't excuse a violent crime. The jury deliberated for 36 hours. Tension filled the courtroom as they returned. The verdict: not guilty of murder. Guilty of involuntary manslaughter. Sentence: 2 years probation under medical supervision due to high-risk pregnancy, with re-evaluation 6 months post-delivery. **** gasps. No prison. But no clean slate either. Luna's team considered it a victory. Katie called it a travesty. Bill vowed to fight for full custody if Luna tried to raise the baby with Will. Will stayed silent, only taking Luna's hand as they exited the courtroom into a sea of cameras. RJ didn't attend the verdict. He watched it on a screen in his office, face unreadable. That night, he left a single voicemail. ***, you didn't lose me completely. But I can't follow you into this. ***, Luna saved it. Replayed it. Then deleted it. She had survived. Electra was gone. Will was by her side for now. But in the bold and the beautiful, nothing stays quiet for long. And this child, born of scandal, grief, and divided loyalties, would grow up under the weight of 1,000 secrets. The bold and the beautiful. Brooke's yes, Nick's gamble, and Ridge's breaking point **** in the middle of the media chaos surrounding Luna Nozawa's return from the dead. One man makes a move no one saw coming. Nick Marone storms back into Los Angeles like a hurricane, older, sharper, more dangerous, and he wastes no time. While the Forrester family and the entire town are fixated on the scandal at University Hospital, Nick walks straight into Brooke Logan's life with a diamond ring and one single mission: lock down her heart before Ridge Forrester changes his mind. The moment is bold, impulsive, and totally Nick. He doesn't wait for the dust to settle. He doesn't ask permission. He just shows up on her doorstep, ring in hand, and says what he's been holding in since the day he left. Asterisk, I should have never let you go. Say yes, and we start today. Asterisk, Brooke is stunned. She doesn't know what to say. The echoes of the past crash over her. Nick, Ridge, Taylor, all the years of tug-of-war. She tries to stall. She says it's too fast, too soon, too sudden. But Nick isn't here to play safe. He's here to win. And deep down, Brooke knows why he's really here. Because Ridge is slipping. Again. Rich Forrester, meanwhile, is locked in a silent war with himself. Ever since Luna's resurrection and the fallout it triggered inside Forrester Creations, he's been leaning more and more on Taylor for stability. She's calm. She's loyal. She's not in the spotlight. And more importantly, she's not playing games. But that comfort comes with history, ugly, complicated history. And no matter how many times he tells himself Brooke is in the past, she's not. She's always there. Always will be. When Ridge hears about Nick's return, he brushes it off, at first. But when Thomas mentions seeing Nick at Il Giardino with Brooke, and Hope says she heard rumors of an engagement, Ridge's calm shatters. He storms out. And the war begins. Nick, sensing the hesitation in Brooke, presses forward. He invites her to his yacht. Candles. Music. Nostalgia. And one final push. Asterisk, you've given Ridge every chance. He doesn't deserve another one. Let's stop waiting for him to choose. Let's choose ourselves. Asterisk, Brooke says yes. And just like that, the battle lines at Forrester Creations are redrawn. The announcement hits like a missile. Ridge is blindsided. Eric is quiet but troubled. Donna tries to be supportive but can barely hide her concern. Hope and RJ exchange looks, both knowing what's coming. Taylor, to her credit, remains silent. She knows this isn't her move to make. Not yet. But Ridge? Ridge is a man unraveling. He shows up at Brooke's house. Demands to know why. Accuses her of rushing, of running, of trying to make him jealous. Brooke stands firm. You had your chance, she says. I waited. I waited through Taylor. Through your doubts. Through every moment you couldn't decide. I'm done waiting. Nick arrives mid-confrontation. The air thickens. Ridge and Nick square off like they never left 2007. Words are exchanged. Threats follow. Nick, cocky as ever, says, asterisk, you had years to lock her down. All I needed was 5 minutes. Asterisk, Ridge lunges. Brooke pulls them apart. But the fuse is lit. At Forrester Creations, the tension explodes. Meetings turn into battlegrounds. Nick starts making design suggestions for Brooke's wedding dress, which infuriates Ridge. Steffi tries to remain neutral, but can't help siding with her father. Thomas avoids taking sides, knowing either way someone loses. Eric threatens to shut down the entire spring campaign if the personal drama continues bleeding into the business. And all while the town remains distracted with Luna's miracle return, Brooke and Nick begin planning a full-scale wedding, public, opulent, and fast. Invitations go out. The guest list reads like a roster of family history. The Forresters, the Logans, the Spencers. No one knows whether to celebrate or brace for disaster. Behind the scenes, Ridge spirals. He isolates. Taylor tries to reach him, but he doesn't respond. He starts sketching like a madman, pushing out design after design, trying to drown out his thoughts. But the truth keeps rising. Brooke is marrying another man, and he let it happen. Days before the wedding, Ridge walks into the Forrester design room and sees Brooke in her gown. Alone. She doesn't hear him. He watches her for a moment, how she adjusts the fabric, how she smiles at her reflection. That's when it hits him. He never stopped loving her. He never stopped seeing her as his wife. He steps forward. Don't marry him. Brooke turns. It's too late, Ridge. No, it's not. Yes, it is. He tries to convince her. He says everything she's waited years to hear. That he was wrong. That he always loved her. That he was scared. That he thought she deserved better, but now he knows no one is better. He asks her not to do this. Not to walk down that aisle. Not to marry someone who's doing this just to win. Brooke stares at him, eyes wide, heart split. She says nothing. Nick walks in. Silence. The stare down is instant. The energy in the room shifts from emotional to nuclear. I see you're still interrupting people's weddings, Nick says. You haven't changed, Ridge replies. Brooke walks out. She needs air. Outside, she runs into Taylor. Taylor sees the pain in her face. The indecision. You don't owe him anything, Taylor says softly. But Brooke just stares at the sky. I don't know what I want anymore. The day of the wedding arrives. The location is set, beachside, with white drapes, hundreds of flowers, and a 3-string quartet. Brooke wears a sleek, ivory gown designed by herself and Hope. Nick waits at the altar, confident but uneasy. Guests arrive. Whispers circulate, will Ridge show, he does. He walks in late, uninvited, wearing black. Everyone freezes. The ceremony begins. Brooke walks down the aisle. She doesn't look at Ridge. Nick takes her hand. The officiant begins. If anyone has just cause, Ridge steps forward. Nick growls, don't. Brooke whispers, please don't do this. Ridge's voice cuts through the silence. I love you. Brooke closes her eyes. The guests shift uncomfortably. Nick turns to Brooke. Say something. She says nothing. A long, excruciating silence. And then, Brooke pulls her hand away. The ceremony stops. Gasps. Ridge doesn't move. Nick steps back, nodding slowly. Hurt. Humiliated. He turns and walks away without another word. Brooke turns to Ridge. This doesn't mean I'm choosing you. This means I'm choosing me. For once. She walks out. No husband. No ring. No wedding. Just her. Independent. Whole. Tired of the war. Ridge stands at the altar, stunned. The guests begin to file out. And from a distance, Taylor watches. A single tear down her cheek, not of sadness, but of knowing. Because in the bold and the beautiful, nothing ever ends. It just resets. And Brooke Logan has just rewritten the game.